Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Storm Team 5 meteorologist Chad Waithlisberger alongside meteorologist Dave Miller, and it has been a rather interesting early afternoon and now early evening here across northeastern Wisconsin.
This has been probably the first big severe weather event so far for northeast Wisconsin, and we're just about getting into July, so it's been very late that we've actually started seeing severe weather come up in this area compared to previous years.
And we should have known Country USA started today, and it seems like every year we
deal
with something like this.
Absolutely, yeah. In fact, we've had that line. This has been mostly a line of rather strong storms moving into the area. In fact, just in the Green Bay region right now, in the metropolitan area, you see the wind starting to pick up. In fact, we've had reports of 45 to 55 mile per hour winds. We've had some reports of trees and power lines down right around Wapaka, Omro, Winneconne. In fact, we had one report around Sherwood of some trees down in that area as this continues to push its way to the east.
And that temperature, it's tough to see in the box here, but down to 69 already as this storm, the leading edge of this storm now moves through the Green Bay area. Guys, if we could go over to Max 1, or Max 2, excuse me. I'll go through the slides here. So 69 now in Green Bay after we had highs well into the 80s. Temperatures have been dropping very quickly. Much the same in, this is now Oshkosh, it looks like, as that heavy rain is moving through. And much the same happened as well. We had those very strong winds move through right along the leading edge of these showers and storms. Temperatures fell very quickly as this rain moved through as well. So here's the current situation. Lakeshore areas from about Manitowoc down towards Sheboygan, these storms are knocking on your door. You have severe thunderstorm warnings for those areas. We'll kind of go county by county here and show you where we have those warnings. First of all, the northeastern portion of Outages County, that severe thunderstorm warning continues until 6 o'clock this evening. It looks like the heaviest of that weather is now off to your east. We also have severe thunderstorm warnings for southern Shawano, southern Oconto, and all of Brown County. That warning runs until 6:15. You can see there on the radar that leading edge of those showers and storms just now pushing through the central portions of the city.
Yeah, and probably the strongest part of this line is going to be in areas down to the south of us, although that's not to say we're not going to see some heavy rain out of this or gusty winds. It's just that we're at this whole line, we're at the kind of the northern edge of that, where generally you'll find the southern edge that's going to be the strongest and most severe. And we're still, though, seeing some pretty strong winds with this.
Yeah, most definitely. And some good pictures coming in from Facebook, too, of that shelf cloud right on the leading edge of these showers and storms coming in. So if you were able to first take shelter, but before those storms moved in, if you were able to see some of those clouds out ahead of that main gust of wind, feel free to share them. And we love to share them on Facebook, on our page, and on the TV side here later on this evening as well.
And the folks along the lakeshore especially, this is heading your way, so you want to get ready.
Okay, yeah, so we'll get to a couple of those pictures in just a moment.
All right, there you go.
Here is one coming from Chelsea, another one in Ryan, I-41 just north of Oshkosh. The people at Country USA, I hope they gave you guys warning as this came through, because we had some very gusty winds as this came through. Another great one from Adam Miller. Thank you to everybody bringing these in. Again, that one from Chelsea as well. So that very familiar look of that shelf cloud, pretty prevalent here along the leading edge of these showers and storms. If we can go back to Max 2, guys, because we still have a few more warnings to pass along. One for eastern Calumet County and all of Manitowoc County. That runs until 6:30. Very interesting. We saw earlier this afternoon the lake breeze moving inland from east to west earlier this afternoon. We were very curious about how that would interact with these showers and storms, and just looking at the radar reflectivity, it looks like this is starting to weaken ever so slowly, so I'm kind of curious if that cooler air that made its way onshore is helping weaken some of these storms, but they are still awfully strong. And here's kind of the trend over the past few hours. They were awfully strong across central Wisconsin. You can kind of see that lake breeze moving westward early in this loop. And just within the last few hours, you're not seeing nearly as much red, the high-intensity rainfall on this radar image. So some of that cooler air from that lake breeze might be helping at least give us a little less rainfall, but still some strong winds along these leading edge of these storms.
Yeah, you mentioned a good point, too, because in the last 15, 20 minutes, we've seen the temperatures not only in Oshkosh, Appleton, but several locations. Fond du Lac one, they hit 91 earlier, and they were down in the 60s in a matter of 20, 30 minutes because of this rain-cooled air. The second thing, too, look at the heavy rain back there. That's moving off to the east as well. So once this main line, this leading edge of the stronger storms moves through, you're still going to see some heavy rain right behind it moving in.
Yeah, we're getting reports of several power outages as well. Here is the current, I believe this is the WPS outage map, and I heard nearly 3,000 customers without power at the moment across a good portion of northeastern Wisconsin. The bottom total there, just over 3,600. It looks like most of those crossed portions of Winnebago County from about Neenah Menasha down towards Oshkosh. So those people at Country USA, I'm curious if there were any damage reports out of those areas. And then areas further off to the south as well, all along the western portions of Lake Winnebago. It looks like Fond du Lac, they're probably not in the WPS coverage area as well, as far as I'm aware. That's why we're not seeing that. But the Oshkosh area looked like really being affected by some power outages at the moment.
Just within the last couple of minutes, it looks like they've dropped the warning now for western Outagamie, all of Winnebago, western Calumet County, and all of Fond du Lac County. So those areas right now, those warnings have dropped, and we still continue eastern Outagamie, eastern Shawano, southern Oconto, Brown, Manitowoc, and Sheboygan counties. And those range anywhere from about 6:30 or so to about 7 in some cases.
And the main concern with the rest of these storms as they make their way into lakeshore areas will be the potential for some very strong winds upwards of 60 miles an hour and some very heavy rain, especially across the leading edge of those showers and storms. We can hear the rain falling on the roof at the station right now. More moderate rain the further west you go towards Clintonville, Wapaka, areas around Watoma as well. That rain now starting to lighten up. I want to take a larger view because the further west you go across western Wisconsin, things are awfully quiet. In fact, some areas came back into a little more sunshine. But let's look at Futurecast. First of all, the severe thunderstorm watch continues for these areas in red. This runs until 7 o'clock this evening. Sheboygan County, that watch runs until 9 o'clock this evening. Here's what I want to show you. Here's Futurecast, 6 o'clock this evening, doing a pretty good job showing up where those showers and storms are moving through right now. This should pretty much exit the good portion of the area by about 9 o'clock this evening. Things will be fairly quiet for the late evening, early overnight. Here's what I want to show you, however. As we approach midnight, notice the potential for more development across northeastern Wisconsin and even more development the further west you go across central and western portions of the state. The concern we have is that this could kind of stall out in a few areas and we could see some extremely heavy rain through the overnights into early Friday morning. Here's now 5 a.m. You can see the potential for still some heavy rain across the area. And if we get some of these storms to repeat over and over and over the same areas, there could definitely be some flooding concerns. Where exact that happens, it's kind of just a wait and see game right now. We'll keep you updated through the overnights, and Jordan will be here early tomorrow morning as well, passing along any issues we might be dealing with. But then it looks like as we make our way through the morning, then on Friday, a lot of this rain starts to come to an end, and we should get at least a couple dry days as we approach the weekend. So one quick last update. Again, we have had some damage reports, 3,600 people across northeastern Wisconsin, at least in the WPS coverage area, without power. The strongest of the storms from about Green Bay now pushing into Denmark, about to hit Manitowoc to Rivers, down towards Sheboygan, down I-43. Severe thunderstorm warnings from southern Oconto County through Brown County, including Manitowoc and Sheboygan counties as well. Within these should start to wrap up within the next hour or so. Anything else from
I was just looking. National Weather Service just said that as it passed by their office, they had a wind gust of 43 miles per hour. And 41 miles per hour, kind of interesting at the automated gauge on the other side of the airport. So low 40s seem to be the gusts as it came through the west side of Green Bay.
And that's very just localized. We could have some areas that are hitting at least 60 miles an hour.
Easily.
Which is why we're seeing some power outages and some tree damage as well. So that is the latest update here from Storm Team 5. Dave will have another update coming up at 6 o'clock. But again, at least the strongest of these storms look to be weakening, likely as they're 15 minutes or so, and more information on our Facebook and website as well. We thank you for tuning in, and we hope you stay safe here the rest of the evening.